The Dominicans are very happy, partying, family-orientated people. Every weekend, every holiday, you can see them partying at the beach, barbecuing, swimming, dancing, playing with their children, and enjoying life. They are friendly and receptive to tourists. Of course, they need our tourist cash, but so do most countries that cater for tourists, and let's face it, most do. Even the developed countries, in fact the top 8 countries in 2014 for visitor numbers were France, USA, Spain, China, Italy, Germany, and the UK. We enjoyed both locations we stayed at while we were in the Dominican Republic. We preferred Las Terrenas, primarily because of the beaches and our proximity to the sea. We just had to walk outside our apartment complex and the beach was across the road. We like being able to walk along the beach to town or in the other direction. In Bayahibe we had to walk through town to get to the beach, which was not as nice for swimming either, but it was better for snorkeling. Not terrific, but it had more fish and more live coral than Las Terrenas. What we didn't like as much was the mosquitoes, which were greater in number at Las Terrenas than in Bayahibe. The apartment complex we stayed at sprays in the garden and lawn to kill the mosquitoes, but a few still buzzed us in the apartment. We closed the bedroom door and turned on the overhead fan to keep them away, but they still persisted. We didn't get any mosquito-carrying illnesses though, but I am told this is more likely in the wet season, which runs from June through November. 3 years ago, there were many incidences here of chikungunya, which causes joint pain, headaches, and fevers. Mosquito diseases coincide with hurricane season. In the past 80 years, only 11 hurricanes have hit the Dominican Republic. The island's mountainous geography, pressure systems, and ocean currents push storms away, and the coral reefs around the island help protect against storm surges. Still, there is that number, and of course hurricanes can be fatal. Noise levels can be high here because the Dominicans are loud people. They like the music at the beach, parties, motor conchos keep beeping their horn trying to get paying customers on the back of their motorcycles. Food prices here are generally good for the Caribbean. You can check out my blog for a shopping list of food items just to see how much things cost. Accommodation can be reasonable too. If you're booked for a month, you can get a decent place for around $600 to $800 per month off season. If you deal directly with the owner, that is. Otherwise, check out Airbnb and see what the costs are. Additional costs are electricity. We paid about 1,300 pesos for 5.5 weeks. But if you need to use air conditioning constantly, the costs can treble. By the way, when we booked Airbnb, our place, it was over $800 a month. So that gives you a good indication of how much you can save if you book directly with the owner. Now, We Are Traveling chooses places to live for at least a month and are constrained only by good internet. If internet is poor, then we do not live in that area. We may stay for a short period, like for a holiday, but that's it. After more than 6 weeks in Las Terrenas and a month in Bayahibe, we have to say neither offers good internet. It was okay, with frequent lapses in signal and speeds varying from around 3 to 10 megabytes per second download and 0.5 to 1 megabytes per second upload. As I was sending only emails and word attachments and Anessa was uploading photos, we could get by. We uploaded 1 gigabyte files to our YouTube channels, which took a few hours. Not great. Also, there are frequent power outages throughout the day. They aren't long, but they can be disruptive. Apparently, fiber optic is promised, but as it stands, we cannot recommend either Bayahibe or Las Terrenas to digital nomads who need a strong signal for their work, or a teacher giving lessons on Skype. Apparently, Cabarete, which is up the coast, has better internet and is popular with digital nomads. But Cabarete is more windy and suited for kite surfers, and the beaches are not as good, hence we didn't go. We have now left Las Terrenas, and all things considered, we had a great time. Having good accommodation, reasonable prices, and being so close to the beach really contributed to a very pleasant stay. The quality of food in the supermarkets is good, fresh eggs, chicken, fish, decent bread, and great fruit. We were in the Dominican Republic for over 2 months. We're always surprised at how quickly time flies. We settle in, start enjoying the place, and before you know it, it's time to move on, even with a minimum of a month. But we had a great time. We did spend another 2 days in Punta Cana before we caught our flight. We didn't really walk up to the area that much, but from what we saw, it's a big, large complex, and it didn't really suit us. We were quite surprised as well that the internet wasn't as good. But Punta Cana remains one of the top tourist destinations, but not for us. If you're there for an all-inclusive, then it may be for you. You can check it out. That's all from us, and we'll see you soon in England.